All right, everyone. Welcome to our Two Posh podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle. I'm here with my co-host, Marcella.
Hi.
And Bernie joined us again today. So awesome.
Hello.
And Spider, hi.
Hello.
And we will call Miss Polly later. And I'm sorry, but our show today is our part 2 to the... we had a show about if you're dating a narcissist and how to get out, but we promised a follow-up second show about that, and where we're going to decide if you can actually take a test if your partner is a narcissist or just self-absorbed, and the difference in all of that. And that should be pretty fun. But first, Bernie, when you were here last, we ended
Not a long time ago.
this is like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
We ended the show with we were gonna have a dating show.
Yes.
That we were gonna have all kinds of women come in and you were gonna
Did
date.
I just ruin a couple shows?
No.
So
Yes. No.
next thing I know, I'm in LA. Something pops up on my Facebook and it says that you are engaged.
Yes.
So
I was like, what?
I mean, I was super excited because I know that when I had seen you guys together before, I thought you made a perfect couple. So beautiful, so sweet. I don't know her, but I feel like I do from her social media. She's a beautiful woman. So tell us a little bit about that,
Yeah.
if you would.
Newly engaged.
Well,
Newly engaged.
So we had a breakup and we took some time off. We took about 6 weeks. We were engaged before that. And
You were engaged before that.
We were engaged before.
Quietly?
We just posted on Facebook or anything like that.
Ah.
I know. Isn't that something? Everyone posts everything on Facebook.
You're just
And
talking
we
about
did. Yeah, I know. So, and we didn't. And there were some things that needed to, when the breakup happened, I genuinely thought it needed to happen. And when there was about a good 6 weeks of no talking, no nothing.
At all.
nothing.
Zero contact whatsoever. And,
Who broke up with who?
I had broken up with her. And, but the thing is, it was one of those things where the breakup happened, but it was, I think we both knew it needed to happen. But, I ended it. And when I ended it, it was with a big middle finger. And I think she did the same thing. And, some time had passed. And I think what ended up happening is I already knew I missed her, but some of the stuff that happened made it to where it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And then I think when I left, it made her miss me. And so we were at all the places last time you were talking about church is important. So I was at church. She ended up walking to the aisle the section I was sitting in. And of all the places that she sat next to me, and then we reconnected, and we had a conversation that needed to happen, some stuff that needed to be discussed and whatnot. And I think that time apart kind
Made you
of
stronger.
Sometimes that happens.
sometimes like when you have an absence of something you want, it may not be right then. But so once some of the conversations that were had that needed to be had were had. That's not right.
Makes sense. Yeah.
All right, y'all got it. Then we decided to pick it back up and give it a chance. Then, the whole thought is we were engaged before, so we decided to, if we're going to give it a shot, let's just pick up where we left off, right? So we picked up where we left off, and then we put it on Facebook, and it was, it wasn't, I don't know why. It wasn't for anything spectacular. We just decided, I guess, to post it on there. And then we got incredible, ton of support from people and whatnot. Not that I really care, but it was just, I don't think either one of us knew how many people, and it's all relative. It's Facebook, right? But it was kind of cool to see all that. But I did have a few friends that immediately I got text messages like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah.
Because the conversation before was this is done with, and so, anyways, so we picked up where we left off. We got engaged again, re-engaged, and that's it. So it's been cool.
That is very exciting.
Congratulations.
I know. Congratulations.
We just broke up this morning. I'm just kidding. So, no, thank you so much. It's been cool. So
I think sometimes but I think sometimes it needs to happen where you really, you take some time apart and you go, can I live without that person? And no, I really don't want to live without that person.
Well, and the thing is, it was, there was something, on both sides. I think there were some things that needed to be discussed and talked about. And I think some of the biggest I think the biggest thing that people do, I'm guilty of it. I don't know too many people who aren't guilty of it, is we live in the newlywed phase. Like everyone, it's easy to, I love you, this and that. And people say it without putting a lot of thought into it. But as it gets more serious and more serious,
realness.
Yeah, the realness gets in. And, are they, like we were saying last time, are they dirty or this or that? Not that she's dirty at all, not kind of, but just the little things that you don't pay too much attention to initially. Once you start talking more of life and you get more serious, then the honeymoon phase goes away. And so that is, so anyways, so at the end of the day, we decided to pick it back up, and I'm pretty happy with it. So,
Are you planning a wedding right now? Or you're just kind of taking it?
No. So we haven't put a specific, we have a date. We're talking, it's going to be sooner than later, but we're not sure the details of it yet. So.
Well, we're excited. We can't wait to meet her. I want to have her on the show whenever she can, so she can talk about her side.
Yep.
And
so she's from Russia. So
is she really? Oh wow.
I can't pronounce where she's from, but she's from Russia, and she came here when she was 16, and so she's been here 20 years. And it's funny, like when we first started dating, I was thinking this will be awesome, this will be sexy, and she's gonna be mad when I say this, but there's just, Russian is not a super sexy language. Kind of like German is not a sexy language, or
Thanks, Bernie.
I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. No, it's just Spanish. You can pick up a word or two. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to pick up in Russian. You can't even kind of pick it up.
So you have no idea. She speaks fluent Russian.
Fluent. So when her and her sister are talking, I have no clue what they're saying.
This is
like
great.
my mom.
You should talk to Patrick about this.
Oh,
he
it's
has
crazy.
no idea.
It's crazy. And they're having full-blown sentences, like conversations, even text messages. Like sometimes it'd be cute. I'll Google Translate something, copy and paste something and I have no clue what her response is. But then I have to Google Translate, put it in there, and figure out what she said. But
you definitely need to talk to Patrick because he can relate with her.
Do you speak? I mean,
fluent German.
Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't know any of it. 19 years, and he hasn't tried to pick up any of it. No Rosetta Stone, no nothing like that.
Tried it, but it's too hard.
It is. It's
really hard.
It's a harsh sounding language. It is. But Russian sounds really harsh.
Yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be super sexy. It's just no. It's not at all.
I'm so used to it growing up. I mean, it was my first language.
You speak German?
Mm-hmm. Well, I did. It was my first language, and then I spoke English and German, and then it just English. But when we go to Austria, I understand it more. I actually will catch myself when she's talking, be like answer in English, and I'm like, wait, I just think I understood that in German. Like it's really weird.
No
in
kidding.
your brain, yeah. But that was my first.
Know that.
Yeah.
So you have
fact.
to be careful. Just heads up. You can't ever get mad at her for that. Like if she talks in her own language. Like I have.
She doesn't ever.
Oh, she doesn't ever?
No, not to me. Not she.
No,
doesn't,
I
she
mean
doesn't.
with when you overhear on the phone or whatever. I have a best friend here. He's my gay husband. We talk about him a lot, Tommy, and he and I talk all the time. Sometimes when he comes over to visit, and then I feel bad for Patrick, but we can't help it. It's our language.
I've never ever. It's never bugged me at all. Just because I can't tell. Even the thing with it, I'm sure Germans like this. It all sounds the same. So it sounds, if you're pissed off, it sounds the same as if you're happy, as if you're trying to be sexy. It all sounds pissed off. It all sounds.
So does she have a strong accent?
Yeah, she's pretty. Yeah,
cool.
she does. She
Nice.
does. So I mean, she speaks English incredibly well, very fluently. I mean, she can. Yeah, she's incredibly. I mean, the language, the accent's pretty cool. And so, but it is she's a strong accent. But she, like I said, she's very fluent, speaks English really well, and she's been here 20 years. So,
Well, yeah.
So,
Her.
yeah.
Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And are you still on Facebook now, though?
No, so I decided to do I've never done this before, other than for just deleting the app from my phone. So I deactivated it just to give myself a break from it. And so
That's healthy sometimes.
I've never done that before. And so it's been a couple days, and the first day you have the minute you wake up, or at least for me, you wake up first thing
You're
you do
so
is
used to it.
Yeah. So it took a couple days to get past that, and I just haven't even thought about it for the last 2 days. So so I'll reactivate it soon enough, but I think it automatically reactivates after 7 days or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
what I thought.
I don't know.
Well, damn, they're get back on here. How dare you leave?
I want to say it was July of last year I did that, and I still haven't been back on.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about it.
I know it's still there, but I don't get on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't missed it at all. I mean, same thing with Instagram. It was literally just to decompress, kind of.
I think it's healthy.
Yeah. So, but I haven't missed it. That's the cool thing about it. So
I just know I saw it pop up and I was out of town, so I didn't have time. So then I sent you a text, congratulations. But then I wanted to go back and actually say something. I'm like, he's gone from Facebook. What's happening?
Oh, so yeah. So
well, congratulations. We're
Thank
excited.
y'all.
This is very cool.
thanks.
So
And-
cool.
Everybody, we will not have a dating show with Bernie.
No.
So
No, we will not.
Sorry.
that's not going to
I'm
happen.
not that interesting anyways. So.
Whatever. You're
He is
really
now
nice.
off the market.
Off the
That's
market. Engaged. It's always so weird to me that the girl has a ring and everyone knows she's engaged and the guy still walks around with
Nothing.
nothing.
What should a guy?
Why is that?
Why would you think?
Yeah.
What should a guy walk around with? A ring?
You should have a ring too,
Well,
on the other hand.
that's right. Why haven't I need to talk to her about this. I need a ring.
I mean, really.
But I
you
think
look
that
like
goes
you're
back in
still off the
time.
market. Yeah. We
That
should
is
change it.
interesting.
I
That
mean,
is interesting.
isn't
We
it
should
weird?
change
I
it.
think if
Yeah.
a guy is wearing an engagement ring of some sort before they're married, I think the girls looked at it as really insecure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's what I would think if I saw a guy and I knew he wasn't married yet, but he's engaged. Like, oh, it's an engagement ring.
It's like a promise ring.
Yeah, I think your girl is crazy, and or
I-
what did you do? Or
What did you
That's
do?
right.
I don't think that's weird at all.
I think I've never just seen it.
No,
So-
I'm saying
No,
like,
I haven't
I
either.
don't think it's weird that they don't have one.
I just
Uh,
found it interesting. Like,
I don't
just
even
thought
find
about
it interesting.
we can start a trend. We can start a trend.
Put you're engaged on your forehead. Tattoo it.
I'll let you try that one first with the your
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
See how he does with that.
We put I'm engaged
In,
on your forehead.
in Russian or in German.
In German.
In your significant other's native tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You're like, what
I'm
the fuck?
off the market.
What is I'm engaged in German?
Ich bin verlobt.
I'm sorry, what?
Ich bin verlobt.
See, exactly. That's when she talks. I'm like, what in the world? That didn't even sound anything like I'm engaged. It sounded like something
That's
else.
because it's a different language.
That's right. Oh, man.
So I think we should start with our second part of our narcissist talk. And here are 7 questions to
From
ask.
engagement to let's talk about
Yes.
you just got engaged. Let's talk about the narcissist.
Exactly. When determining if your partner is a narcissist or just self-absorbed. So there are questions that you can ask yourself and
So make sure you ask these before you walk down the aisle.
Can you text me the?
Yeah.
does he or she want to impress strangers more than he or she wants to impress you? When you start dating a narcissist, he may captivate you with his charismatic ways with strangers, joking with servers at restaurants, chatting it up with salespeople at stores, and telling engaging stories at parties. You may think, wow, what a catch. This guy can charm the pants off anyone. You may be especially impressed if you're an introverted type, pleased, proud, and relieved to be on the arm of someone who's more outgoing than you are. Oddly, though, as things continue, you realize his easy rapport with strangers doesn't carry over to his relationship with you. That's because a narcissist feeds off the attention he gets from strangers and casual acquaintances. The mail carrier who laughs at his joke, the coworker who praises his sense of style, the barber who admires his full head of hair. While most of us take these everyday compliments with a grain of salt, he finds them extremely gratifying. This superficial give and take that most of us call chit-chat is more meaningful to him than a deeper relationship with you. He is the life of the party with a group, but shallow as a puddle on one-on-one.
Wow, man, that's interesting.
Does he/she consider themselves special in some way that sets them apart from others? Just like Superman with his X-ray vision, a narcissist believes he/she too has unique powers that set them apart from everyone else. They often bring up how special they are because it's central to their identity. They may see themselves as unusually perceptive, a superior communicator, exceptionally attractive, or uncommonly moral. They may see themselves as a princess, prince.
Wait, uncommonly moral? What?
Like have the highest morals.
I know. I've never heard that
I
word.
haven't either.
Yeah,
My morals are subpar from yours.
I have no morals. It's fine. It's good.
Great, you can keep those. I don't have any. We're not going to hang out anytime soon.
Sorry, that's so funny.
That is funny.
Keep going.
Deserving preferential treatment, luxurious surroundings, and a lot of admiration.
Man.
They may exaggerate the importance, making comments such as, everyone is always coming to me for everything. My entire family would be in shambles if it weren't for me. People are
God.
always telling me I should write books about my life.
Oh God, that's my favorite. First of all, that has nothing to do with anyone I've ever dated. that comment that everybody tells me I need to write a book, for some reason, like, irks my nerves.
Why?
I don't know. Like, everyone says that. Why? Like,
have you had people say, like, say that, like, man, everyone says write a book
about my life.
About
We've had a few. No, not to me.
About their life, yeah.
About their own.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they didn't. No one said that to you.
My mom sure did say that about it. My mom loves me.
Exactly. We've had a few guests on here who say it.
No kidding.
Wow.
I feel bad because some people have said it to me. So I'm like,
you should write a book?
Yeah, but that's different because she was a mobster wife. So that makes sense to me.
Freaking interesting. I would read that book.
Yeah,
right.
that's kind of different. It depends on who is telling me this, I think.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a really interesting, like you almost, like, I mean, I feel like
I've been told I should write a book too.
Yeah, see?
But I feel like it depends on the circumstance.
And the stories.
The story. Like, I can't say who was on here that I was like, no, don't write the book. Just don't do it.
My book would be boring as hell.
At least you're honest.
That is too funny. How often do you have that when you have guests on here and you're like, what the fuck?
I tell you what, this is funny because it leads me into something I wanted to say anyways. You may have noticed that we have not had a guest on, like, for their life story. It's not that we're not going to have guests on, but from now on, we will have guests on that want to share their life story, and they want to share their life story. Like, no one's sharing their life story. They come here and they tell their life story, and then that's it.
And this is not everyone. This is just a handful of people. Like Valerie, like, some people were awesome. Or the people who come on, they want to share, and then they're super dishonest.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you're like, but you're not telling everything. And then you can't, first of all, you're not going to heal, and then you're not going to help anyone else by sugarcoating your story. Like, you have to be.
Or they come on here and don't tell the whole story and then go on Facebook and share the whole story. And I'm like,
that's
what is that? That is so strange.
Happen?
Many times, actually.
So they'll come in here live. They have an opportunity to, like, tell the whole thing legit.
From their mouth.
Yeah,
like, without
right there.
typing it.
But then they type. That's really weird.
Or they actually record themselves on Facebook and tell the story completely different than they did here. And I'm like, what is this?
Who's lying?
Yeah.
So from now on, we're going to have people on that really want to share their story and wanting to be honest about it and want to make a difference. So we're doing a little more of a checking.
Yeah.
So, and in the meantime, we talk about other things. That is way funnier.
Yeah,
Narcissist.
That's right. It's good.
Less self-absorbed.
All sorts of good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always waiting for him to finally flip out and go, stop
believe-
effing talking about me on
I
your
can't
show.
believe he hasn't reached out to you guys yet. I'm sure I may get a death threat. I'm sure, but,
You will. Just wait.
I was just saying.
I know. Some narcissists even see religion as their superpower. They believe they have a unique one-on-one relationship with God in which he speaks to them directly and guides their everyday lives.
Wow.
We've all heard NFL players thanking God for their Super Bowl wins and actors praising the Lord for their Academy Awards. They think God sees them as exceptional and deserving of special recognition. As narcissists, this fortifies what they think of themselves. As half of a romantic couple, they will always be the ones who set the course because they, after all, are being steered by a higher power.
I don't think I've ever been with someone who's like that.
No,
I definitely have not been with someone like that.
God speaks to me only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's people out there.
The minute I'm out.
Yeah, we have some. We've all heard of people like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, I think that there are some. I'm going back to the NFL because you said it, but I think there's some NFL guys and athletes, or even actors, who genuinely have a relationship with God that they're not being narcissistic.
Yeah,
same. To say that, I think is just a genuine gratitude that. Because I mean, you got to think about it. That's if you're a gifted athlete like that, and there are some gifted athletes out there who really are strong Christians and whatnot, who genuinely live the life. I mean, it's hard to find them, but there are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think there's some who they recognize that, hey, if they've already depended on God their whole relationship, their whole career, and all that. I mean, I think that's a big thing to me, that someone can still stay consistent,
Yeah.
and humble, and acknowledge God as they've
It's so
stepped in the whole
rare,
time.
but
It's very
when
rare.
it happens, it's awesome.
But I do like when
Yeah.
they thank God, actually, because obviously I think some people are more gifted than others as far as athletic ability or
for sure.
certain things that God was given to you by God. So I think that's fine. But Big A did say he was God's gift to women.
The
That
thing
just
is,
reminded me.
He said that.
he really believed it.
He was going to get that
really believed
tattoo.
it.
Like God's gift.
What?
No.
Oh, yeah. But then he got loyalty to royalty spelled wrong instead.
What did it say again? I forgot.
Loyalty to royalty, but royalty was spelled wrong. And I can't remember how it was spelled.
Royalty.
Something. But I was like, you should have probably went with God's gift. Maybe I could spell
that's
that
so
right
funny.
for you. God's gift to women.
That is too crazy.
So
Oh my gosh.
I've heard that one.
Royalty.
Royalty.
Wow.
That he's not even the norm. He's
No, it's something
I know.
so
He's
special.
he's so the exception to
Yeah,
anyone in the
anything.
world.
Yeah.
In like
it
in
really.
life.
I
We're
found him
still
though.
talking
It
about
takes-
him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's caused.
Well, we are the narcissist
right.
one.
He's an interesting character. I mean, the thing is, everything about the guy is, I mean, stupid but interesting.
It is.
So
That is true.
years later, we're still talking
about
it,
him.
and we're all smiling about him.
I
Yeah.
know.
Put a smile on our face, buddy.
Yeah. Thank
know.
you for giving me laughter. at this point. Yeah.
Finally, the gift of laughter.
Yeah.
Does he give you the silent treatment? The silent treatment is a favorite weapon of the narcissist. Wow. That is interesting for me because that means my whole family was narcissistic growing up because that's what they did.
So would you? Oh, that's crazy. So listening to this list, I mean, it almost feels like everyone has some sort of little bit of narcissistic tendencies in them.
Right, but I feel like there's a difference because are you a narcissist or self-absorbed? I think some of those.
But I think
could
if
be
you're
either one.
one of the, I think he's saying like
Oh,
everybody might
has
have
a little touch
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
which we are living in a very narcissistic world when it comes to social media.
Oh my God, no kidding.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's just the level of how hurtful it is maybe to somebody else because I don't think I think that selfies are a little narcissistic and I take selfies. So I'm just saying like, but I don't think I'm a narcissist. Like,
Well, I mean,
Says the narcissist.
right. I mean, I don't think. Somebody let me know. I don't think I am, but I think that could be something that's a little bit.
well, I think like look at the question at hand. Like, do you want to impress strangers more than others?
No.
No. Do you?
Yes.
No.
You know, as I've gotten older, this is the truth. As I've gotten older, I just don't care as much. I think
Right.
when I was younger, yes, I want to impress everybody. I wanted everyone to like me, and I wanted to, resonate in a great way, whether I really realized what that meant or it was very superficial. Now, I don't care.
But you have that
Okay.
personality
Yeah.
also. Like you have that outgoing, really big personality,
Yeah.
which is
But we all are. So I don't think that makes us like that. It's just how you're doing it. So I think that if your family did the silent treatment, I don't think that means they're all narcissistic. Well, your dad maybe, but.
well, let's read it. If you're like many people, you clam up when you get mad, frustrated, confused, or overwhelmed. You don't want to say something you'll regret, so you wisely refrain from speaking until you've sorted out your thoughts and can speak rationally about them. This may take a matter of minutes or a few hours. Your intent is to avoid hurting your partner and damaging the relationship. The narcissist, however, gives the silent treatment for an entirely different reason: to punish, manipulate, control, and demoralize. Make no mistake about it, he's using it to make you suffer and squirm. In fact, some narcissists like to give the silent treatment without explanation, making their victims feel off balance, scared, and vulnerable. Their vengeful, self-imposed muteness can go on for days, weeks, and even months. They take the silent treatment to the extreme and use it often. If you try to become more assertive in the relationship, the narcissist will use it as a weapon to squelch your independence. Your relationship is doomed when your partner doesn't see communication as the way to solve problems and clams up like a child. Reading this gives me anxiety.
It gives me anxiety too, actually.
Because this
Makes
is
my
Why?
heart beat.
This is how
I've lived that.
This is how I grew up.
Really?
My parents would not speak to each other if they had a fight for days, weeks, months at a time.
So
Like if I came
for
home
we,
from school,
I can imagine it. I can like
It's
I've
the
had the
craziest
tendency to
thing.
go I can go hours without talking to someone.
Can
because
you?
I'm just I mean I can depends. When I was married, I can go hours because I did
But-
not like my ex-wife at all. But I couldn't go days. 'Cause I'm
But
too
would
emotional.
would you do it leaving them hanging? Like, what's going on?
Not at all.
But
no,
see, that's
you know why I hate you right now.
okay. That's the difference. I think.
Dude, that's crazy.
I have lived that in a relationship, and it makes me almost sick to my stomach because I don't know what I did. I'm like, can you please, like, the ignoring? I'm like, what did I do?
So just randomly things are good, and all of a sudden, not. That's crazy.
I think
really?
ours are just too different, but that gives me the worst anxiety. Like, can we at least, like, or they'll tell you they're mad, and
you have nothing to go on,
and you have nothing. You're like, but I don't know what I did.
What's
like,
the longest you went where you just had no clue?
I think hour. I've never honestly, for me personally, I'm the type of woman.
No. I meant the other way around. Where it was done to you.
That's what I'm saying. No, I couldn't go months. Like, I'm the type of woman that I'm immediately emotional. I'm the one, like, when something happens, I'm like, bah! Like, in the 60 seconds. Give me some time. Like, if I got silent treatment for more than a day, that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah.
So definitely almost a few hours a day.
Wow.
My parents did for years.
Really?
Didn't speak for years?
Like,
Well,
my
after divorce.
with me.
Oh.
My dad didn't speak to me for 20 years before he passed away.
What?
And died without even talking to her.
Mhm.
Did you ever know why?
Well, my dad was an alcoholic and came to visit, and I tried to help because it was very scary. My dad had, like, all these symptoms that alcoholics do, like seizures and whatnot, and he obviously had a relapse while he was at our house with his wife at the time, and we all together wanted to help him, so we did a sort of intervention with the help of a doctor. Like, I did it with everyone telling us how to do it. The whole family was involved. He actually handled it great. He said he was sorry. He was going to be going home to go do rehab, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then he went home and told everyone I made it up, told everyone I totally created this story, which was untrue, and never spoke to me again.
So was he? I guess he was more embarrassed than anything.
No, he was a narcissist. He only cared about his alcohol and what he wanted to do.
You're embarrassed for 20 years.
I mean, dude, that's insane.
Like, never even met my brother.
No, never. I was pregnant with my son at the time. Never met it's crazy. Never met his grandkids.
Did you try to reconcile with him all the time?
All the time.
He just wouldn't talk to you? That's crazy.
Nope. I went home, tried to see him. He said he was out of town. He didn't talk to me. He told others he was out of town, and then my friend saw him, like, two
But your
streets
mom
over.
has done not talking to you,
My
too.
mom has done not talking to me for 2.5 years.
What?
Yep. And I actually had, like, anxiety issues because of all of it, because I couldn't understand it. I mean, you have one mom, one dad, right?
Yeah.
I always the one reaching out. I always say, I have never met someone in my whole entire lifetime where the parent doesn't speak to the child when the child reaches out. It's
That's
the
crazy.
other way around, usually. Like, the children don't speak to their parents kind of thing. I've never met someone else. It is extremely insane.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Do you
crazy.
guys talk now?
My mom, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad passed away without talking to me, but my mom, yeah. My mom and I are closer than ever today.
Did you ever find out what the deal was? Like, what was the rationale behind 2.5 years of not talking to you?
Oh,
Her
yeah.
mom?
Yeah.
That was really sad. Marcella was little. I went home to visit, and I visited some friends of mine, and she got mad. She didn't like that I spent time with my friends, and literally, I got to the airport, and she dropped me off with her at the airport in Europe, which is very small. You're not at a big airport, like in the parking lot at 4 a.m. I couldn't even go in the airport. I didn't know how to get a little child, how to get the
Just left
stroller,
her.
how to
Drove
get
off.
this. Yeah, drove off and didn't talk to me for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Because I went to see some of my best friends before I left.
But your mom is a whole another issue. When you were younger, growing up,
Yes.
my mom was like, it was a very hard time for her.
I had the craziest childhood ever.
No
It's
kidding.
kind of mean,
Very mean.
very mean.
Your mom, you
Mhm.
mean? Oh, man.
Yeah, but they're good now.
Yeah. we're
And
great
she
now.
has always been sweet to us.
Right.
But I think growing up, it was rough for her.
My parents were very young when they had me, so I'm
Yeah.
always kind of thinking they just weren't ready to be parents.
Like 18, right?
My
Yeah.
mom was 18. My dad was 20.
Did she remarry?
Mm-hmm. She's
Wow.
remarried now.
And she has a great relationship with you guys? The
Yeah,
kids
well,
and everybody?
It's hard because she lives in Austria, so
Oh, so often you guys, I'm sorry, I'm just really digging it. Like, how often you guys go back and see her?
well, she comes here sometimes, but it's hard because we don't it's not the grandparent relationship that you would normally see because first of all, we don't understand. I mean, she speaks good English, but it's not like you don't have that every day, like a grandchild situation. And then we go to Austria every 10 years, and then she comes here, but now she doesn't want to come anymore. We try to convince her.
Her age or just...
Yeah, I think so.
It's who she's married to. He doesn't want her to leave, so it's kind of like... Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Interesting.
But this, like not talking, my family is great at it. Oh. Like my brother is not talking to my mom now for years either. That's how I grew up, so that's why I don't do it. You know how they talk about break the chain?
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, we're not allowed to not speak.
I mean, that was something I was determined to do. I cannot not talk. And if there's like even 30 minutes of like, we can have a fight and then we gotta be over it. And we're fine.
I don't talk to my dad at all.
You don't?
No. So my dad lives in Florida. And so after, my accident happened in 2007. My brother got diagnosed with cancer a week after my accident.
Right.
He died 6 or 7 months later. And then a year, almost to the day, he served my mom divorce papers. And so, yeah, it was crazy. Like almost I think the day before the anniversary. And I guess he was having like this, I won't say midlife crisis. I'd say like 3/4 life crisis.
But he had a crisis.
Yeah.
He was going through his own stuff. As a dad, this happened to you.
But he also
he
was diagnosed with cancer.
He was diagnosed with cancer, right? So he kind of...
Correct. And but my mom was dealing with the whole thing. She was seeing her youngest baby get shot, her oldest can't die of cancer, and then she was dealing with her husband at the time. So he moved away to Florida, and he hasn't had a chance to see my son grow up, my brother's sons grow up. So now he definitely regrets it. But so when I talk to my dad, I have to gear up for it because it's just his life has gone to shit for a year, like a decade now. He's just, he's not doing well. His health is not doing well. But when I talk to him, it's like it's an emotional draining to talk to the guy because just, woe is me kind of life deal.
Negative.
So I don't do well talking to that. So I have to gear up to talk to my dad. Like I have to prepare for it because it's so emotionally draining. So, and it used to really impact me. Like it impact me for days. I'd be resonating this like emotional whatever. And then I got to the point where I was like, I recognize that, for me to kind of I could be cool and not be pissed off at him anymore, which I'm not, but I had to limit my time talking to him. So
that makes sense.
Like I rarely talk to him.
How is your mom now?
She's awesome.
She's good?
She's awesome. Yeah, I'm real close to my mom. I talk to her. Is
she remarried?
She's not. I don't think she's ever going to get remarried.
No.
She still very, very much loves my dad.
Really?
That's not a sweet. They know it's not sweet at all. He does. She does. I say it's not sweet because he's
hurt her, and that's
sad. That's the whole thing about it is that. So this matches my dad a lot of this narcissistic stuff, but my dad just I don't know. He's 72 now. He's just really selfish, and so. And I hate that because she still hangs on to him. She's never dated. She's never been with anyone else. Ever. And they've been divorced for 11 years, 10 years.
She's never gone on a date?
Never. So
we need to fight. I have
set her up.
We need to set her up. Maybe we do a dating game with your mom.
That's the thing. I don't think she wants to. Like, I think she's at that phase in life where it's
content.
It's not important to her finding a mate. I'm sure she wouldn't. I'm sure deep down she probably would like to. I mean, nobody wants dying to be alone, but I think she's just gotten so content to be herself. Yeah, she's used to it, and her sister lives with her they live in Fort Worth, and so she just is enjoying being retired and whatnot. But she still has this love for my dad. Yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't till about 5 or 6 months ago that we had a conversation. And she was coming to the realization that she needed to just completely let him go, out of her life. So, which I was, I don't care. I'll encourage her either way. But I could see that for years she would still get really hurt, even to recently, 6 months. He just was so selfish and whatnot. So, but if you met him, he's really handsome. He's very, very smooth. He's just women love the guy. He's a really good looking guy.
So is he with someone else?
Not in an official way. Yeah, I'm sure he's dating. He's I'm telling you, if you ladies saw him, he's really a handsome guy, and he's really smooth, and he's just, but So I don't think he's had anyone serious, but I know he's probably dated quite a few women. He's in.
That sounds like my dad.
Yeah, he's in Florida, and like I said, women love the guy. So, but yeah, I don't think my mom would ever want to date. Like at all. I think she'd feel so awkward dating.
Right,
She wouldn't even know what to do. So, but I think I'd feel more awkward if I found out my mom was dating.
See, that's the other thing then. That would be great, though.
I think more men would be scared of me than my mom. It's because,
You never know. Things happen sometimes.
I will say there was one time at my last house when I was getting the carpet changed out, and the carpet in my office was getting clean, and there was this family-owned carpet cleaning place that we used for years, and the son was a little older than me. The dad was helping him, and the dad was so into my mom. It was really cute. Like, it was the cutest thing.
Aww.
Like, he would come flirt with her and whatnot. Like, yeah, it didn't make me feel awkward or weird. Like, who's this guy? I thought it was the cutest thing because I want my mom happy.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I saw this old guy. I think he was a widow too, and a widower, and it was super cute. But she
Nothing
shut it down.
happened?
No, she shut it down.
Man.
She wouldn't even. I think she probably was flattered by it, but. It was still awkward to see my mom kind of getting hit
Flirting.
on.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Yes, I do know. No one's gonna talk to my mom. She's a saint.
That's funny.
What is that from? That's a movie.
What? I think Vince Vaughn did it.
Yes.
Or no, it was in Anchorman or something where the news
Don't
guys.
talk about Mom. She's a saint. What is that from?
I
Oh my God.
I forgot. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
That's for next show.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, number 4, is she ridiculously thin-skinned, prickly at every perceived slight? A narcissist notices the slightest of slights and takes everything personally. Her ego gets injured easily. She or he is highly sensitive to any perceived insult. They can't take a joke, can't laugh at their foibles. Is that what it's called? FOIBLES.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I had no idea. Anyway.
Yes.
And can't let anything go. They are never deprecating. As a way to cope, they may start censoring your speech around them so as not to hurt their fragile feelings. You may feel like that you're constantly walking on eggshells. When you make comments not directed at them in any way, they may interpret them as personal attack. You gradually realize you'll never win and become resigned to it. It's nearly impossible to talk to a narcissist about anything you find troubling in the relationship. They will take what you said, twist it, and make you the bad guy. A narcissist is not self-reflective, so you're in for a losing battle. They can play the martyr like no one else. If they hurt you, don't hold your breath waiting for an apology. A narcissist rarely, if ever, says, "I'm sorry." If they were to even notice your distress, they would only offer a lame, insincere acknowledgement. They would never say, "I am so sorry, I called you dumb. It was mean." Instead, they would say, "I'm sorry you reacted that way to what I said."
I'm sorry you're dumb, as I would say.
Yeah, that's terrible. They put it all on you.
I live that for sure.
The first one or the second one?
That.
Or many of them?
Oh, that. What we're just talking about. I remember like having fights about what they did and then being like, how in 1 second, how am I saying sorry? Like, where did it get there? Like, how did I end up saying I'm sorry? I know a lot of people have actually been through this. A lot of my girlfriends.
That I
crazy.
never understand. I just don't.
I've only had one.
But I
Good at twisting,
I'm not,
I guess.
I only had one dating situation in my life that was like that. It was crazy. I mean, it really was. Because, I mean, I think you can see in any dating situation little bits and pieces of this.
Yeah.
Like here and there. But, I mean, that one person that was like, should be called their personality trait. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was 100% that. And, yeah, that was insane.
I think that, that one, I feel like nobody is perfect, right? So I
Right.
feel like if somebody says something to you, you should kind of try to recognize that and be like, I didn't mean it that way, or I don't know
Right.
how you got that, but this is what I meant, or I'm sorry, or sometimes just a simple, I'm sorry that I hurt you, or that made you feel that way.
Yeah.
I also hate the apology that says, I'm sorry you feel that way, because I feel like that's not an apology, because
Yeah.
it's like, you're sorry I feel this way? Well, that's
Yeah, the crazy thing is actually have someone do that and they're really sold on what they just told you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you feel that way. And you're like, no, that hurt. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have said that. And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I hate
No.
I'm sorry. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
The unemotional
I'm like,
one?
don't even say it then.
So you're saying sorry because you think I want to hear I'm sorry, and it's like,
And I do, but I want you to mean it.
Yeah,
that's
of
what-
course.
That makes me
Gosh.
mad.
I try to be very sincere in my apologies, if ever. But I think that people want it in relationships, want to be heard because, you know, and I know that things aren't on purpose sometimes. But then when there is something big and you tell that person about it, and then immediately they're like, somehow have flipped it into you. And then you're like, I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm sorry for, but I guess I'm sorry because you're mad suddenly.
I'm sorry that you cheated on me.
Yeah.
No, that's
My fault. Totally.
Did I make you cheat on me?
You know, the thing though,
Look what you did.
look what you made me watch.
I stuck my dick in someone else. This is your fault. Oh, shit. My bad. You're so right.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
The thing is, I already know at least one person that happened to you with. But
Yeah.
God, that's crazy. Was it happening to any more than just that one person?
Admittedly, yes.
Oh man,
The other one likes to deny it till they're great.
still. Did you get proof for the other one?
No.
Yes.
So, which one? Yes or no?
I don't have physical proof.
You have proof. You don't need to see them actually doing the act.
What was the proof? You don't have to go into go into detail. But what was the proof?
Instagram video with them together.
Oh, you told me that last time.
Yeah, but likes to say it wasn't that person. Like they weren't there, but so that's why I don't have concrete evidence. I guess.
But it was the one where you heard the voice.
Yeah,
There's no question about it, and he said it wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
That's
awesome.
hard because the other one I definitely had it. I actually saw it, but they were like, "No, this is not happening." I'm like,
You're dreaming or a nightmare. Which
"Or
one?
nightmare." Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
All right. Do they react angrily when you disagree with them? When others disagree with us, we might find it frustrating, but not cause for hostility and rage. After all, we reason everyone is entitled to their own opinion. A narcissist, however, gets unduly angry when someone has a differing viewpoint. They become half-bent on changing your opinion or berating you for clinging to it. They cannot tolerate losing an argument. They can never be wrong. A live and let live attitude is not part of their makeup. A narcissist will argue with you until they have beaten you down and you have lost the will to live.
I hate
Wow.
arguing. It's so exhausting.
Debating back and forth is futile because they don't want to listen. A narcissist deep down is an insecure person who needs to believe they're always right. They are drawn to a woman who avoids confrontation and are willing to smooth over rough patches to make their life run smoothly. He does not look for an equal. He typically wants someone younger, less experienced, and easy to influence. In this article in Psychology Today called Rage, Coming Soon from a Narcissist Near You, Dr. Mara Goldstein warns about getting on the bad side of these individuals who desire acceptance and acclaim and can't tolerate disagreement. They perceive it as a personal attack, requiring them to strike back and protect themselves. There's a saying that when you're a hammer, the world looks like a nail. When you're a narcissist, the world looks like it should approve, adore, and agree and obey you. Anything less than that feels like an assault and becomes of that a narcissist feels justified in raging back at it. That's really scary.
They just weren't hugged enough. All
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they just weren't hugged enough.
That is scary, kind of. Like to think that that's how they see it.
But the thing is, though, is they really
Believe
as
this.
much as this they have to see this table and they feel it. They really, really.
Do you
believe it.
rage ever?
I will. Yeah, I think there's been times I've gotten so angry. If I thought like I was ever cheated on, I mean, that's caused something that has caused me to rage. I mean, yeah, because that's a whole nother level.
But that's
of,
different. Like when someone disagrees with you.
yeah,
You have rage.
Not at all.
Flip
I
the
mean,
table.
He's about to go crazy.
I disagree with you. And so, no, I'm not. I'd never ever to that extent by any means. You can get pissed off when someone disagrees with you. I think everyone is guilty of that, but to raging, not even remotely, kind of. But I mean, we're all sold on what we're sold on, right?
Right,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it depends. I think that it's situational because if you're dating someone who just you hate them breathing, it's like that.
But I don't rage
Ever?
at all. Well, for the reasons you're saying, yes, but arguing, it exhausts me and
Yeah.
I can't do it. I literally am like, whatever. Let's agree to disagree. what the fuck ever. I don't care that much.
Wasn't there a story about you breaking a bunch of plates or something?
Yeah. I can go.
What's that story? I'd like to hear this
Well,
one.
hold on. I have to like track a little bit. So I have two sides. There's like the Sicilian Italian crazy person, and then there's my sweet self. Very rare will you see. Very rare will you see the crazy. I have to be pushed there. Now that push comes with a lot of warnings. Please stop. I'm asking you to please stop. Please stop. I'm serious. Like, stop. Now, when it goes to like the thermometer erupts, that is Marcella has reached a point. There's no coming back now.
How often does that happen? Handful of times? We'll say.
I thought I needed anger management for quite a little bit. Because when my rage gets to that level, I'm not proud to say that I have gotten physical. I have broken glasses, plates, dishes, slammed doors, destroyed my own home.
We came home from a trip one time. No lie. I was like, Patrick goes, where are all our glasses? Like, where are our plates? They were all missing.
That's why
we
I
had
thought
been
I'd
out
be
of
in the anger
town.
room.
How long ago was this?
That was in high school. But now,
Wait, go back. What happened?
I don't remember. A boyfriend. It was always a guy.
You blacked out. That's what happened.
I blacked out,
But it was all our dishes and
it's whatever I
glasses
can
with
find.
Could you get it with the paper cup, please? Just ball those up.
Because it doesn't satisfy me to that.
That is too funny.
And if I'm with someone, like, so now if I, like in adult life, like I've heard somebody say to me that I actually terrified them. Like, what happened to my face? Or like your face, like
Bernie's
your,
Oh my
your
God. Get on
eyes.
the other side of this table.
Yeah, they're like your eyes. A grown man was like, I actually, like, I felt like fear from you because they
Saw
said,
the devil.
yeah, they said the veins in my neck popped out so hard. They're like, but now
But what caused it? Is that
cheating,
okay?
pushing me to a limit that, like, it takes a lot. I am like a sweet person, but it does, like, only a few people have pushed me to that point.
Yeah.
And when I get there, I just can't stop.
Yeah.
And you have pushed me. I mean, I punched Andy right in the face. I mean, it felt so great. It was like years, you guys. And then he put on Facebook that I tried to murder him. But by the way,
Wow.
I was driving
That's
my
insane.
vehicle, and I slammed on the brake in my car, and I leaned over, and it was 4 years of aggression coming out of my fist, and I punched him over and over in the face, in the nose. Like,
What is he doing?
he broke my nose. Like,
No
starts
way.
crying that I broke his nose, and
Did you?
I don't think so. Of course not. But it just felt so gratifying to finally get that out. Like, it was just pent up in me. Like, I'm just so quiet. That's the problem, is I don't really talk sometimes, and then it gets built up, and then the build up becomes violent. I'm not proud of that.
He's actually speechless.
I am. I don't know. I didn't picture that. I could see it now.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I have.
is that how you are?
No. The only thing I ever did was, my ex-husband, her dad, when you live in that mafia lifestyle, there's always, you find something out every single day.
Dude, that's
And
crazy.
it
That's a
is-
show. Have you done that show yet?
Not
No.
yet. She has to prepare
I
for
want to be
it.
part of that show. Please.
Yeah, I said I would do it soon, but I do remember I threw a Sam-sized ketchup bottle one time, and it hit the corner and exploded everywhere.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's crazy.
And he actually walked out, and I was like, damn it, now I have to clean this all up. I was so mad.
That's a double whammy for sure.
Yeah,
It
when
was
you
so
destroy your
horrible.
own home, I've done that drunk, mad.
I've never done that drunk. I've done that before, being so pissed off that, I've
And
done
you're like,
something bad.
fuck, this is my house, and I broke this picture. Yeah, it's not like happens all the time, but if you push me there.
I've done that to an iPad once. I was so mad. I slammed it down. I thought, oh, fuck. I smashed it. I'm like, great.
I gotta go buy a new
Yeah,
iPad.
the iPad. It was awesome. I've done it to a phone before too.
Yeah.
And
See?
I know.
That's why I wanted to go to the anger room. I feel like
I know.
the
and now
anger room
it's
would have been
closed.
great.
The anger
for
room
me.
would be cool.
Yeah,
right?
because I could break everything.
Yeah.
It would probably feel so good.
I've never done one of those. You done those?
No, but I wanted to.
Well, we were gonna do a field trip, and then the girl that owns it
Died.
got killed by her
Sheesh.
ex-boyfriend, and now they closed it.
What?
I know how
Yes.
crazy
So
is
he
that?
should have did the
Sad.
anger room. Good
Yeah.
Lord. Well, how long
Can
was
you
this?
believe it?
Yeah.
This is just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
So what happened to him? I mean, obviously he's in prison.
Yeah,
and-
he is.
Isn't that crazy? He was
Yeah.
abusive to her, and
That's why she did the anger room.
Mm-hmm.
No?
That's why
Kidding.
she started that business. Yeah.
Was it doing good?
Yeah, it was really doing great. It was on
It's on a
Dallas
few
Housewives
shows,
and
yeah.
everything.
We should do
Yes,
that.
terrible.
I know.
We should come up with an anger room. I don't know why I'm whispering it right now.
It's great stuff.
Secret business
That's out of the
venture.
line.
I think there's other places like that.
I think
though.
there's too. Yeah.
I mean, Lee has told me, he's like, I mean, you can take my machines and demolish the house if you want. And I'm like, I might need to
funny.
do that sometime.
That is too funny.
It's very like any aggression you have, like you can destroy something.
So how do you set a room up like that? I mean, I know it sounds like obviously you have a room, you just have shit everywhere, but how do you create the business out of that?
I mean, from
They
what
get
I've seen,
donations and stuff. They go to like garage sales and
just take a bunch of old
Dude, that would be
TVs,
really
glass. They give you a bat, some goggles, and they're like, go to town.
So what do they charge to let someone do that?
I
Was
don't
it like
know.
by the 5 minutes you get to kill everything?
I'm not sure.
There was like little packages like that, and it was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes.
What is
But you got like a sledgehammer. Can you imagine swinging a
30
sledgehammer
minutes.
for 30 minutes?
I only need a good like 5 to 8 minutes.
I think that probably the first minute it'd be like you're pissed off, and then it kind of gets fun. I bet.
Yeah.
They're just fucking stuff up.
yeah.
Everyone likes to break things.
But it'd be cool if you could do it to where, like, you know, you had like a car door or something, like a front headlights. I know that's like
They have
extreme.
that.
Yeah, they had
See, that would
cars.
be really cool.
They have
So, like, break
TVs, like
windshields
you
and
take
stuff?
the bat
Statues
and you
of
just
presidents.
smash it.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would jump on that.
me too.
We
So
should do a
funny.
field trip. Let's do
That's
this.
what we
We need
Let's
to
plan
find
it.
another
We
one.
have now. We can do a field trip. Finally, Michael has all the equipment, so we can.
We should do a field
So we
trip.
should
Yeah.
do that.
We have a lot of field trips.
Okay. Next point. Do they ever give you compliments? A narcissist believes their role is to receive compliments, not give them. You may start to feel like you're walking through the desert, searching for a drop of water if you're seeking praise or validation from them. You'll start to lose self-esteem, and that's exactly what they want.
But doesn't that contradict the initial part? Because the initial at the beginning, it was like they're loving, they're this. I'm just curious. Doesn't
They're
that?
charming.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. That's why it's so dangerous, because they suck you in so early.
I guess
with
this is
their
after
charm.
you've been
And this
dating
is
for a while,
after
yeah.
they have
They
you and they've
Andy-size you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you are unsure of yourself, you're in a weak position.
Yeah.
They are in control and more powerful. You are collateral damage as they bolster themselves, minimizing your experiences and achievements in the process. If you get a promotion at work, they'll say, I've gotten so many promotions over the years, I've lost count.
Oh
If you're
my
excited
God.
about becoming an uncle or aunt for the first time, they'll say, I've been an aunt uncle for 10 years. It's not a big deal. They'll burst your bubble and you start getting depressed.
Did you go through that? I don't think
I don't think so.
I've never gone through that.
You have, because your job was always made
'cause I
fun
didn't go
of.
to
It wasn't a
college.
real job and all that kind of
Go
stuff.
get a big girl job.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, that's right.
God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm lying. That's just crazy that but I guess it goes into once you're sucked in until you break
You
away.
can't get away.
Yeah, that's pretty
That is the
Harsh.
hard part. Yeah.
well. Is it become something where you is it more of a internal part of feeling the fear of you're not going to find anything better, or there's nothing as great as them? Or,
Probably. I mean, I think for me, I was so young, so I keep going back to that. I mean, I think I
Yeah.
even said it almost seems like so long ago now. I don't even see that as a relationship. I
Yeah.
can only compare it, or I can only say I've had these moments. But now I wouldn't. There's no way. Like I would never, or at least I wouldn't stay that long, or never feel
Yeah.
like there's not a way out, or there's not something better. I think as you get older, I think that's why earlier it said they prey on younger.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Naive,
did. You're
like-
right.
I
Because
tried
they
dating.
know that an older person, older woman knows better at this point, so they have to go for younger.
It's just hope. And
Hope.
There's some
Or-
crazy older women.
That's true.
So I dated someone in their 20s, and man, that was a nightmare for me. That was not fun at all because
Right.
there's just a life experience, a lack of it. The maturity level was horrendous compared to.
Yeah, I would
So,
imagine, honestly.
Yeah, but
I think older guys like the younger girl for the arm candy or just to say like they're younger. But I think when it comes down to actual like conversation, I mean, I'm huge on like mental like stimulation when it comes to conversation. So to talk to someone who has we're 20 years apart, no, that's not gonna work.
you dating someone 20 years apart is a little scary, one way or another.
Yeah, I know, right? You're 16.
Just saying. No,
You're
that's
16.
that's interesting, but it is kind of interesting to see because again, in the younger, there's a little lack of life experience, immaturity, and then what I've seen is someone older. They're set in the way kind of deal, and so I mean, and not everyone is that way by any means, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very
Interesting, I bet.
interesting.
Do they empathize when you experience heartache or just fake it? Narcissist has little or no ability to experience empathy. They can fake it, though, saying sympathetic words and giving comforting gestures when it serves their needs. They may act compassionately when you're dating, but give up the pretense when you're married. Some wives say their narcissistic husband began acting cold and unsympathetic soon after the nuptials. They first noticed the behavior when they needed the husbands to care for them when they were suffering from the flu, recovering from surgery, getting over the death of a relative, or recuperating after giving birth. The narcissists, unable to cope with the nurturing role, get extremely frustrated, angry, and resentful. Wow, that is awful.
That would suck.
Oh, that
Oh
is
my gosh,
horrible.
that would suck. To actually, I mean, it's different to go through a breakup, man, to be married.
To
and
that.
experience that shit.
Especially if they changed after you got married.
That's the
You're
whole
like,
thing. That's the whole, and that stuff happens all the time.
I know. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know, I have a friend, she passed away, sadly. She had cancer, and I remember it, it was so sad. People always told her to write and on social media, but she didn't. And then one time she did, and I was writing back and forth with her, and I asked her how her husband was he helping her? And she said, my husband doesn't even come in my room anymore. He just goes off and plays golf. He completely left her alone. It was the saddest thing ever. I mean, I still remember it. It was that Debbie from Boston that we had met in Puerto Rico, Danielle and Alyssa. Yeah, it was so sad. And they had a great marriage, and until she got sick, so sad.
Well, maybe they didn't have a great marriage.
Maybe they
How long were they
didn't.
married for?
Long time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, sad.
So was it defense for him not dealing with the reality?
Probably,
or-
and I probably think that's a lot
Yeah,
of
but
times.
that's so selfish.
But that is
Yeah,
selfish.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
'Cause
have to swallow and be a strong human being. That is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really
That's
fucked
really,
up.
really sad.
And
just-
how long was she dealing with the cancer for?
For a while.
So she had to do that all on her own.
I think so. I mean, I don't know the details.
Yeah,
I just know that one comment made me really sad for her
Well,
because that was just, she was going through a lot. And
that's a lot. And to even feel like for a second you're by yourself would suck.
exactly.
For a second.
Yep.
Well,
I
even when
mean,
you don't
sad.
feel good, like
Yeah, right.
you want someone to care
I
about
know.
you a little.
I know.
I'm a wuss. I totally am a baby. Like if
You want to be taken care of.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm like a dramatic wuss. I'm like-
You're a man, so.
Yeah. Is that all guys that way?
Man flu.
Yeah. All right.
Are you kind though when someone takes care of you?
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, I'm not just saying it because I'm on there with you guys. Like, yeah, I
No.
appreciate that. Like,
Patrick is a horrible
Oh
patient.
my God, he's the worst.
really?
Mean.
Yeah, I am not taking care of him anymore because he's so mean.
Like, what's mean?
Like if you ask him, do you need anything? I'm fine.
Well, in Mexico, he got sick, and she was like, "Well, what can I do? And he gets like, he just barks back. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think he's so mad about
He's
being
pissed that he's
sick.
yeah.
Mhm.
So he's not very nice, or he's just like,
I'm fine.
grumpy.
Do you need anything?
Stop
Nope.
asking me. I'll let
Stop
you know if I
asking
need something.
Yep. And he's never like that. He's the sweetest person.
Yeah,
but
just when he's sick.
That is too funny.
So I told her, I go, just don't text him. Like, we're all gonna have fun at the pool. Don't say anything.
Which
And
is
then
completely against my.
she didn't like it. I was like,
personality.
don't say anything. And then, funny enough, he was like, what did he say? Something like he was gonna get up, or
can you bring me something? All of a sudden, he was super nice. I'm like, so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Don't recognize until they don't have. I mean, yeah.
But I can understand that because I am really upset when I'm sick.
Wait,
You know,
why?
I don't know, because I have too much to do. I don't have time for it. I'm one of those people who will talk myself out of it until it's impossible. I'm not sick. But there's the times that you just can't.
Yeah.
And it almost infuriates me that I'm sick. So I have been known to not be a great patient.
She
either.
used to be bad, but she's much better now.
I
But
am.
she used to hurt my feelings too. I'm like taking care of her, and she's like, oh, I never forget. I've told this story one other time. She had to have her tonsils out at 14.
This is not fair because I was under anesthesia.
But still, this is basically how she always was. This was just extreme. She was under anesthesia and had her tonsils out, and we go back. I'm a stressed out mom. Oh my God, my child is in surgery, and I go back and finally get to see her, and she's sitting in bed, and I go, oh my God, are you okay? Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
You don't remember? Do you remember this or no?
No, it's actually a thing that people can be mean after anesthesia. It's not that she knew, but I was laughing still.
Well, I think we laugh because we compare my brother and I. First of all, my mom, it's me, Gino, and my sister Jolie. So a lot of times we'll be like, I'm like the devil. Gino
we do
is
not
like,
do that.
No,
You
yeah.
do that.
Gino, Patrick would agree. Gino's like the angel, and then Jolie has a
Little bit
halo
mix.
hanging on her devil horn.
Oh.
So, but we laugh because I woke up from anesthesia like that. But my brother, my sweet brother, woke up singing German music, like singing
Really?
Good Morning Sunshine, like when he woke up. So I was like, see,
Dude, that's funny.
That's typical. Like I was like, meh, and Gino's so sweet.
Oh, I'm so nice. Like I'm so appreciative.
Like
100%
if
of the
someone
time.
helps you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, a handful of times I've had surgery, and yeah, I'm like over nice about it because I really do appreciate it. And
That's how I am.
yeah.
I appreciate it. I think I'm just upset.
Just they're frustrated with
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
God, you're
where
a
it comes.
narcissist.
I am when I'm sick. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
so I think we have come to the time to call Miss Polly and
Yay.
ask her opinion on this.
Miss Polly.
Mhm.
That's right. I forgot Miss Polly.
You haven't got to talk to her yet.
No.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I love it when it cuts the song off and just rings.
I figured.
Like a
don't
Skype
love
kind
it.
of sound.
Mhm.
Hello.
Miss Polly, how are you?
I am well, and how are you?
We're good. We have Bernie here today
that's
to
me.
be part
Hi.
of this episode. Say hi to Bernie, Polly.
Hello, Bernie.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
It sounds like you're fabulous. You just sound cool. I just,
Answer the phone singing.
I am cool.
All right, let's.
Quick pause, and then we'll get it started.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Penis and Pussy Talk.
With Miss Polly.
Miss Polly.
You warned him about that.
I heard it last time.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Hey, we want to know what your thoughts are on if a narcissist can change.
Oh, okay. I've actually asked a friend of mine who's a mental health care professional because I really wanted to. I met and know a few of these narcissistic people, and pretty much the general consensus from most of the psychiatric neighborhood, so to speak, is unless that person really wants to change, it's pretty much a no.
Wow.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. So does something dramatic have to happen to them typically, I guess, dramatic stuff makes all of us change, but
Well, dramatic stuff does has impact on
Yeah.
all of us, but, it would take a pretty dramatic event to happen to them individually. I mean, I think there's, the narcissistic behavior, once they've been diagnosed or really truly in there, it's like too late. And they really truly believe that the world revolves around them and that, whatever, unless they actually have empathy and can learn that empathy, and without intensive therapy, it's not going to happen.
But so it's funny, right? Just hearing that, I think initially there's that shock factor that makes anyone, especially a narcissist, immediately make those quote unquote changes. But then I guess the tendency is to go back to what makes most sense to them or to anybody.
Yeah.
Of course, they go from, their behavior is learned a lot. And sometimes the thing is their empathy that they may exhibit is a learned behavior. And that is usually just to manipulate what they want, to get what they want.
So then that is like, that's like extra terrible.
Whole different can of worms.
Are you born a narcissist? How does that happen?
I don't know if that is definitely a born thing. I think it's a learned thing, or somewhere along the lines.
Bad parenting.
Bad parenting can have something to do with it. A narcissist can actually breed another narcissist.
True.
In terms of their behavior.
You can be a product of your environment.
Exactly, you become. This told that everything is about you, and if it's not about you, then just walk away because it's not worth it. It's not worth their time, not worth anything else, because their perception, their world, their reality is right in front of them. It's all about them.
Well, last time we talked about it, I said that parents can do a lot of harm because when they never discipline their children, that is a really bad part of parenting, because it's your job to guide the kids in the right direction. And some parents never see any fault in their children, and that's really not good. I don't think it is.
I have a friend that is actually, here's something that just recently came about. Narcissistic parents, and the parent that is in charge of the 4 children that she raised, her youngest, because he grew up in a world where it was all about her and one other of his siblings, he has now developed strongly the antisocial behavior of the disorder. And is in therapy, even destructive to the point where he's going into. They're trying to talk him into a resident treatment center, which would be intense therapy.
Wow.
He's 16. He's 16.
This is from having 2 parents. Violent. This is from having 2 narcissistic parents.
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow.
How do they?
And
look at each
I was going
other?
to say, how do 2 narcissists?
Work?
Maybe we should get 2 narcissists in here. Do they know that? I
was going to say they're going to think they're special guests to be special.
That's true.
Well, only one of them has actually been diagnosed with the narcissist disorder, but she doesn't think anything's wrong with her child.
So who was it? Was it her or him that was? How do you get diagnosed narcissist first?
I was about to ask the same thing. Is it like a list of questions? Therapy?
Well, it's kind of like, okay, when you are told that you have to go to therapy, this is not an option. You have to go to therapy because it was kind of like a court ordered because she felt depressed and she wasn't getting enough attention. So she tried to kill herself, but not really. And so she went into a 72-hour psychiatric treatment and was told basically, if you want your kids back, you have to go to treatment.
And then she got diagnosed. Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, because, this child is violent. His own therapist said, if he continues on this path, we're looking at a Ted Bundy.
Oh my gosh.
So what was the deal? So did his mom and dad just let him do anything he wanted? No discipline ever, no nothing?
Mom and dad, here's the thing. The mom and dad are divorced. And
what?
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. And he feels abandoned on both counts because, narcissists, it's all about them.
Yeah.
So there were times when she would leave the children to fend for themselves, the oldest taking care of the younger. And if they ran out of food, they had to call their father so he could give them money or send them money. And he avoidance, because I don't want to deal with my kids, and I left them with the mom because she didn't want to give them to me. And so I'm just going to go and do my own thing. I'm going to avoid the whole situation.
Sounds like a bunch of complainers.
Oh.
Oh my Lanta. And now they're like, my friend is dealing with the husband, his narcissism is really more, it's so little that it's really not full blown. It's just a lot of it is attributed also to he has Asperger's. So it's kind of, there's a little other caveats in there. But it's, and she basically told him, she says, your child is going to kill us.
Oh my gosh.
That's terrifying.
That's insane.
Right
End up on investigation discovery.
Yes.
Well, on that note,
Yes.
we kind of agree that
Sorry.
narcissists will know that they will not change. And let's go to our question of the day.
All right.
The two posh girls ask the question of the day.
All right, everyone. Question of the day today. Have you ever sent a text message to the wrong person?
Wow.
Who wants to go first?
I have multiple times.
You have?
Yeah, most of the time though they're nice, and people are like, "Oh, that's really nice. You'd say that about me," and I was like, "Oh shit, that was meant for somebody else."
Oh my gosh. No.
Most of the time.
I haven't. I have, but same thing. It was like, oh my God, thank God. It was like, I saved it really well. It was one of those. I've never gotten in trouble for it. No.
I've not.
Go ahead.
But I know that you have, Gabrielle.
What did I do? I can't remember.
No, you didn't say it's never anything bad. It's just like confusing because you text so much.
She is
that
bad
there's
about
been
it.
times she will send me something and I'll be like, I don't know what this means. And I'll text back, who is this for? Because I don't think it's for me. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Like, wrong person. Yeah, I do it a lot. I
Yes.
actually did something not too long ago where I took a screenshot
Yeah, that's
of
right.
a situation. I don't want to talk about this right now, what exactly happened, but I took a screenshot and wanted to send it to Marcella and sent it to the person.
Oh, look at this dickhead just sent me. Oh, shoot.
And I
Oh.
covered it really quickly, though. I think I got away with it. I'm not
I
sure.
think you did too.
But
So I've done it one time.
Oh.
I did, yeah. So this is when I lived in Dallas, and when I was into like partying craziness. I remember staying up. I was dating a girl that we lived together at the time, and I stayed up all night partying. This is a stupid phase of life. Stayed up all night, and the guys I was with, we ended up going to somebody. They left to go back to their girlfriend's house, and I'm shooting a text message saying, "Hey, if so and so asks, I'm with you. Just make sure, don't play around, joke around." Did not realize I sent it to the girl I was dating at the time. And I was like, if she asked,
you cannot recover from that one.
I recovered from it.
How?
I don't even remember how I did. I remember
I
that
would murder you.
I couldn't believe
There you
I
go.
pulled it off though. But I did. I was like, and
I would
I
murder
think
you. Did you hear that?
the girl that I was dating at the time, I think I told her, I was like, I was just kidding, or it's so like stupid. I did a big Andy thing. I was like, you didn't see that.
I
That
was
didn't come for me.
just kidding.
Like, yeah, it was something stupid, but I pulled it off. But I remember, it was dumb. That was one I remember when you said that. I was like, I remember thinking
You
you're
remembered
an
it
asshole.
immediately.
Yeah, like you're an idiot, and that was like 13 years ago, but 13 or 14 years ago. But yeah, I couldn't believe I got away with that one.
I can't either.
I know.
I could hunt you
Neither.
down.
Yeah.
I think I sent somebody an email one time too that wasn't meant for them, but then you could still like undo the email. Like that was a thing, and I think I saved it just in time. Like it was bad. I remember.
I've been fortunate. I haven't had anyone send me anything that
Didn't
I would
belong to you?
that didn't belong
Me
to me.
neither.
But
I have. I've had someone send me nudes that weren't for me.
Oh well, that.
I've apologized for that countless times. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, you guys, listen! What happened to me yesterday?
Oh my God.
Oh my god! So we always talk about how the dance studio was horrible, right, and everything. And our business now is so much more fun until you get a customer asking you to create and design their own pouch because their penis is so big that it
But
falls
this was
out.
the most clever way to send a dick pic.
You need a penis pocket.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, wait till you see it.
Really?
So
I need a bigger pair of underwear.
Yeah,
whatever,
he asked
because
for us to
my
design
penis
it.
is so big.
yes. So I didn't know if he was serious or not because he actually showed pictures where he had on a pouch that didn't fit him.
That doesn't make any sense.
So I mean,
That's hilarious.
look at it.
Hilarious.
So
But then the
I
penis
said-
is super small.
So wait. So then I sent
Depends
back.
on who's telling him that.
So
Right.
then I say, well, you will have to pay for a design fee, and there's going to be a
It gets
minimum
better here.
purchase. So
Oh my god!
Then
Dude,
he
that's
sends-
funny. Is that a tape measure?
yes, it's a tape measure. There's a picture with tape. Show the camera, Marcella.
Is that like what 4 inches? Is that?
That is a small penis. I'm like, did he hear our micro penis podcast? Because that's
no,
tiny.
because then
He's a narcissist.
Well,
clearly.
it has to be technically, the 2.5,
but then
really small.
but listen, then he sent me a text. I mean, a message and said, "Has anyone sent you a request like this before?"
For such a glorious penis.
a penis this size. He
I'm
did.
so sorry.
Oh my
That's-
you should have
god!
said micro penis.
Totally. I can make this for you.
Look, there's a measuring tape.
Oh,
That does seem
Dude,
like
that's
a really
Sorry, little
elaborate way
boy.
just
But
to
the thing
send
is,
you a
he's
dick
really
pic.
serious too.
Very serious. But then after I sent him an offer where he was supposed to pay, and he continued to send penis pictures, I then then I blocked him and reported him to eBay.
Dude, that's crazy.
I was like, that's a very, very lot of effort to send a penis picture.
That's.
Repeatedly.
way too much.
Oh my gosh, yes. So there
I
you go,
try to
guys.
keep it to
I would've
six
just-
pictures at a
I
time.
would have just sent one of those laughing out loud emojis or something,
Or what Nicole does. Nicole
Yeah,
that's
keeps
the
all
best.
her dick pics, and then when somebody sends her a dick pic, she'll send a dick pic back.
So,
Brilliant.
with that being said, do you guys get random? Does that happen? Like,
Random.
so-
the most
so
random.
how does someone send you their dick? I mean, like, it's like, hey, I just want to send you a picture of my dick. I mean,
Usually, like the way I've gotten them before is just the dick, or hey, especially on Snapchat, it's hey, and you open it and somebody can see if you've seen it. I don't ever answer. It's usually like a black screen. This is how I've gotten them. Hey, don't answer. They send another one, and so you open it, and then it's a penis, and then you close it immediately because you're like, fuck, oh my god. And then the next one will be, I typically get, do you like? And I'm like, no, like no.
send another. Yeah, send another. This is good.
I mean, I've gotten jack off videos. Like, I mean, just
So hold on.
horrendous.
When you get, I'm sure this is really intriguing. So when you get jack off videos, the guy knows that you can see who he is. Like,
yeah. Usually it's just their penis.
but I mean, you can't tell who that video is attached to face wise.
No.
So what is?
and then some name with like a bunch of letters.
So have you ever seen someone who sent you that? You're like, I'm kind of interested. Like, has that ever happened?
No.
No. I'm
is-
curious. Like,
No.
that's what I'm wondering.
Maybe.
Well, that's the whole thing I'm wondering. Like, I mean, I've never, ever sent a dick pic to anybody.
I thank
Yeah.
God.
No, and I haven't. But
What do you say, Miss Polly?
I was just saying, well, it depends on what it looks like. I'm a little intrigued, Is
Keep
it,
going.
how
It's
big
like
is it?
in the
How
shape of
big
a
is
question
it?
mark.
well,
I'm
so,
single.
Well, also, one of my girlfriends, she wouldn't care if I said this. Katie, one of my best friends, she was on the show, used to love doing chat roulette when it was a thing. Like, she would meet all these really interesting
that?
people.
Yeah, what is
So, chat roulette, did you ever do it? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know what it is. I
Okay.
never participated.
So chat roulette was like Skype, but it was just a roulette. Like, you would log on your webcam or whatever, your camera from your
I've
computer.
never heard of this.
Me neither.
And you would log on. Me, Misty, and Beth did it once before, and it was so funny. Like, we were dying laughing. So what you do is say you sign on, and everybody who's on chat roulette knows that. Like, what they don't know, but you're just on there. So you're all on the website together.
Okay.
Somebody will come up, and either you can talk to them or not, and you can just click next, and then somebody else will come random, and it's from all over
So
the
can
country.
can they see that you see them? Because you guys are
You
actually
see
seeing
each other.
And then
Most
wow.
of the time, it is naked men with their penis
What?
out. So Misty one time put like a hot dog in her underwear. Like, we were.
Oh
if
my
you drink
God, that's
wine and
hilarious.
have fun with it, it's pretty funny. like as girlfriends, but Katie used to do it all the time, and she would just like a constant penis.
So
penis,
did you guys
penis.
ever sit there and start talking to someone who is a butt naked penis?
No, the only people we would ever talk to, usually people in Europe partying, like people like partying and having fun. I know at an after party one time, I had a girlfriend get another girl to like stick a dildo in her ass and like got them to do all these things. Then we were like,
wait, where at the party you guys were at? She did it?
we were all at a party and Nicole wouldn't care if I told this story. But we were talking, this girl came up and was trying to flirt with everybody in the room. Like she was like a webcam girl.
Was she attractive? Was she?
No. Well, like from another country, and Nicole is on there going, do this with and the girl is like, okay, thinking we're all loving it. She goes, put the dildo in your ass. She did it. I'm like, oh my God. Then she goes, put the dildo.
God.
Oh yeah. She says, put the dildo in your eye. And the girl did it. And then Nicole goes, congratulations, you have pink eye. And then literally click next. This is a real story. And then
That's
that was
crazy.
it. And you can just be gone.
Pink eye.
Yeah.
Is that brown eye?
Wow.
I don't even know. Oh, my Lanta.
That's so
She would come
crazy.
tell you the story too. Everybody saw it. Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Well,
I don't even know if chat roulette's a thing anymore.
I don't know how we ended up at chat roulette from sending the wrong
Pink
text.
eye.
We were talking about penis pictures.
Oh yeah,
That's insane.
that's right.
Anyway, my side story.
We have degraded the conversation now.
Very much so. Very much so.
On that note, we thank everyone for listening.
Sorry.
Bye bye. It's fine. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.